Pick out your city there. It may already be storming at your house. This would just be the next round of storms that will be moving through these areas. So we'll pick out a few. What time is it now? It's just before 1 o'clock. So within the next 15 minutes in Lathrop Village, Troy, Washington. Again, it might be thunder, lightning at your house right now, but you're also going to get this next. And this is the line of storms that are coming through just to your west. So couple of areas of storm. So it's storming right now in Washington, but you still have another area of thunderstorms that will come through here in the next 15 to 20 minutes. So let's clear out of this. I'm going to widen back out again here. I want to go back down just to the west of Ann Arbor. So Washtenaw rather, Ann Arbor, if you have students at U of M, they're under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. And this should be the last of it. We're not seeing anything else out to the west, but we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, and we still have that tornado warning. So I want to go back up to that tornado warning box just to make sure we're not missing anything and that we're still keeping an eye on it. Again, we're talking about Leonard. Ortonville, this is now to your east. Lake Orion and Oxford, though, where we're really keeping a very close eye for signs of, again, rotation or, all right. Again, when you get close to the radar site, it's a little tough to see, but I do want to go in close right here. I'm going to step off camera here and take a better look. That's right around Adams Road and Stony Creek Road. Starting to see there's some debris there. So again, Adams Road and Stony Creek Road, Campbell's Corner up to the northeast. Okay, let's turn this off. We're going to go back over to the radar. And you can see, again, when we're getting these purples indicating and reds indicating some very, very heavy rain, and also we've had some hail. I want to check the hail. Let's go back out here. We're going to zoom out a little bit here. I'm going to turn off the warning for just a moment so we can focus on the hail. Anything you see in purple here, this indicates hail. So that's how we know that these are very strong thunderstorms, because we have seen a lot of hail anywhere from about 1 inch to 1 3/4 inches. So we're talking over the size of a quarter, anywhere you see here in purple. So Utica, lots of hail there. Washington, parts of Macomb County getting quite a bit of hail, north of Rochester Hills. Birmingham, a lot of hail there as well. I want to go back up to this corner though here where that tornado warning is. We're going to put that back on again. Yeah, still under an active, okay, we have a new tornado warning right now, a new one. This is for Rochester Hills, Troy, Birmingham is included in this, Keego Harbor. Let's check the, again, if you're just joining us, this is a new tornado warning, and this includes Rochester, Troy, Pontiac, Keego Harbor. If you're in any of these areas in parts of Oakland County, you need to be on the lowest level of your home, preferably the basement. If you have kids that are sleeping upstairs, unfortunately, if you're in this warning area, you should come down to the lowest level of your house. I'm going to turn the velocity off right now so that you can take a good look at, we'll turn on the radar. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Oakland County, but we're more concerned about, again, the tornado warning that is in effect. Let's check. So right here, this is a tornado warning. It's in effect until 1:15 for the for parts. There's two parts to this. So we've got two areas in Oakland County. So this is where we're going to focus our attention right now. Oxford is included in it, Waterford, Troy, Rochester Hills, down to Birmingham, over to Keego Harbor. So if you are anywhere in this area, you should be taking cover right now in the lowest level of your home. Let's check our velocity right now. I'm going to go in a little tighter here. Let's see if I can see. Let's go back out. We'll look at the radar and go back out to, again, if you're in Oakland County, parts of Oakland County are under a tornado warning in effect right now. Let's go in a little bit tighter here. So if you're at Auburn Road, right there, let me just check that real quick. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of signs of debris. When we look at the debris, what we're looking for are little tight balls of debris. What the dual pole radar does is it scans horizontally and vertically, and what it can do is detect something other than a symmetrical raindrop. So it's a sign that there's debris that a tornado, more than likely, is putting into the air. So that's why we're looking at the debris field. I know it doesn't make sense to you, but as we're on, I'm also forecasting. So that's why from time to time, I'm going to have to step off here and you know, kind of take control of the radar. I'm going to take this off. Washtenaw County now under a severe thunderstorm warning, but what we're concerned the most about here, turn that off so you can see. We have 3 active tornado warnings. A warning means that either a tornado has been spotted by radar or a trained spotter. It's very difficult at night for nocturnal tornadoes for those to be sighted. Usually they're indicated by Doppler radar, but I want to zoom in so if you are in these cities, you know exactly who's within that box. So it includes Rochester Hills, Troy, Birmingham, Pontiac. Also the next box up here, Oxford, Lake Orion, and Leonard. So those 2 boxes are the ones that we are the most focused on right now as we look at the velocity and storm relative velocity in those areas. So all right, I'm going to step off camera here really quickly here. Again, if you're just joining us, we have multiple severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings in effect right now for parts of Metro Detroit. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit here for you so that I can take a closer look at a couple of areas. This purple here indicating large hail. All this purple that you see indicating large hail. So this is the first tornado warning. That is in effect for Oakland County until 1:15. The second box down here also until 1:15. I'm going to put back on the radar here and track a couple of these thunderstorms for you. Let's go in a little bit closer on some of these storms. Very strong thunderstorm at Walton Boulevard. That would be north of Avon Road. So if you're in the city of Rochester, also Auburn Hills, you are within that, that tornado warning box. So here's the northern box. This is who's in that tornado warning right now. The second one is down here. It includes Bloomfield Hills, Troy, Maple Road in Birmingham. I just want to take a look here. I'm not seeing anything that really appears to be tight rotation to focus on. Again, as we're on the air, I'm also forecasting here, so I apologize. I know some of this doesn't make sense, but we're going to start tracking some of these storms here. So Auburn Hills, by the time this storm that's going through Auburn Hills now will be in Chesterfield in 36 minutes. This part of the storm here will be to the eastern part of Macomb County in about 42 minutes. So really we have about another, at least a couple of hours until all of these storms are gone. I'm still watching this area down to the south, southwest, moving through parts of Ann Arbor. Anything you see flashing here, let me turn this off right now. I'm going to turn the radar off for just a moment so we can go over the warnings once again. So you can see, you know, almost all of southeast lower Michigan under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. The entire area remains under a tornado watch until 5 a.m. Okay, so northern Oakland County, they just dropped that tornado warning. So the only active tornado warning for our area, aside from the one north of I-69, but our area would be right here, including West Bloomfield, Birmingham, Troy, and Rochester Hills. If you're in Utica and Sterling Heights, you're likely going to want to also really pay close attention as this is moving to the east at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. So I'm going to connect back up here again, come back on camera again. As we're in this severe weather coverage, I'm also forecasting, so I apologize for stepping in and out here. But if you're in this area, that is where there is an active tornado warning until 1:15. It's become kind of ragged. I'm again, as I look at the velocity and the storm relative velocity, it's tough to really see anything that has tightly packed rotation, but it doesn't matter. Anywhere within the county here, if you're around John R. Road and Hall Road, a little bit interesting there. Again, there's some debris. What I'm looking for is a little ball, a tight little ball of debris, indicating a tornado that would be on the ground. We'll go back to the radar. Let's go back up to let's focus on Macomb County for just a moment and going a little bit closer here on this storm moving through Richmond. Severe thunderstorm in Richmond, New Haven, and also for you folks down in New Baltimore. No signs of rotation within this, but definitely has high winds and also reports of very large hail in those areas. So 30-mile-per-hour winds there. Go back to velocity here and check some of our wind speeds. We've really seen wind speeds for the most part recently right around 40. I'm going to kind of clear things out here. We're going to reset. Let's step off camera and reset here for a minute. Again, if you're just joining us, we have several severe thunderstorm warnings, and also still looks like now, yeah, we still have one active tornado warning. So we're going to go in tight, really tight here. So here's Waddles Road right here. Here's Troy, Crooks Road and Adams, Charing Cross, Bloomfield Hills. It goes over to Kego Harbor and Walnut Lake. It is north of, here's Maple Road in Birmingham. So if you're in Bloomfield, Beverly Hills, you're not included in that tornado warning, but you're still in a severe thunderstorm warning. But this is the area we're watching right here. It goes all the way over to the Macomb County line. So it does not include Utica and Shelby Township. Utica and Shelby Township, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. So it really cuts off right here at John R. Road. It does include Troy, so I'm going to just look really quickly here at the radar. You can see this was a line of thunderstorms, very linear, that I was tracking earlier. It was a squall line. Now it's kind of broken apart, and we have several cells within it, which makes it a bit more difficult as to what part we are exactly focusing on. But if you're at John R. Road in Rochester Hills, strong thunderstorm there. Again, not seeing, yeah, I'm not really seeing any very, very tight rotation that would indicate regardless of whether we're seeing it here on the radar, you are under a tornado warning. So if you are anywhere in that box, Kego Harbor, Bloomfield Hills, Birmingham, Troy, Rochester Hills, you definitely need to be on the lowest level of your home. As you are, again, under that tornado warning. This is not a watch for that area. This is a warning, meaning that either Doppler radar has indicated a tornado or a trained spotter or law enforcement has sighted a tornado, which is very, very difficult. Nocturnal nighttime tornadoes are the most dangerous because obviously people are not awake, they're not always watching the news, they're not always informed, and they're also very difficult to spot and to track. Franklin, Beverly Hills, Berkeley, Southfield. This is a severe thunderstorm, but it is no rotation, so it is only in that one box. Let me turn this off quickly once again. We'll go over the warnings really quickly here. Anywhere that's flashing in yellow is a severe thunderstorm warning. In that one box, we still have an active tornado warning in effect for the eastern part of Oakland County. It's just a little sliver right there, but we are seeing clusters of thunderstorms all over Metro Detroit. I'm going to step back on camera here and continue to track some of these storms. Again, I apologize for interrupting programming, but when we do have active, especially tornado warnings, we need to stay on the air until those tornado warnings have lifted. You can also watch us on Local 4 Plus. But I do suspect that once we get these storms out of the way, we should be done. The western side of the state has already cleared out, but there are multiple areas that we are watching right now. Can't really track this because it's just going to go out over the water, but if you are in Richmond getting some very, very heavy rain, I haven't turned on lightning detector, but there is a lot of lightning out there. In fact, we'll put the counter on right now. And we've seen a lot of lightning within these cells. So in the last 5 minutes, 230 strikes of lightning. So a lot of lightning. There's also been multiple reports of large hail. I'm going to turn off the lightning because it gets a little distracting. I know there's a lot going on. I'm going to widen out the view here for you so you can see what's going on. We have a couple of areas that we're continuing to track. Washtenaw, including the Ann Arbor area, under a severe thunderstorm warning. That thunderstorm right now moving through Ann Arbor. In fact, I think, let's see if we can, let's pull up some of our sky cams right now if we can see Ann Arbor and see the lightning strikes. Quite impressive in Ann Arbor. Wow. We'll go to Windsor now. Windsor Skycam. So downtown Detroit, obviously not a lot of lightning there. We'll go out to Metro Airport. No, so that thunderstorm right now, let's check Mount Clemens really quickly here. No, it's not going to do anything. So Ann Arbor, severe thunderstorm right now moving through parts of Ann Arbor. And as you look at this, you can see why in that area of Oakland County rather, that has the tornado warning, it's very difficult for law enforcement or even trained spotters to see if there is a tornado. But right now this is over the University of Michigan, multiple lightning strikes, severe thunderstorm moving through. So that's what it looks like on the sky cam. I'm going to turn that off and go back to the radar, and so you can see, you saw it on the sky cam, and this is what it looks like on the radar. We'll zoom in a bit closer here for you. And moving right now, just moving through Ann Arbor, Northfield, Pittsfield, Ypsilanti. Also, let's track this because it's going to be getting into Plymouth and Canton. I think I need to go out just a little bit, widen the view just a little bit more here. I'm going to track this for you folks that are in Plymouth and Canton so that you can see when it's going to hit you. Moving to the east, again, about 45 miles per hour or so. So Salem, 109, London, 114, Canton, 114. What time is it? So within the next 6 minutes, Canton, you will have a severe thunderstorm. Garden City, 125, Inkster, 126, Flat Rock, 131, and Southgate, 135. So if you're in downtown Detroit, just know it's 108. By 130 is when you'll see that severe thunderstorm come through, which is why Wayne County is, even though there's no active severe weather right now, that is tracking to the east. And so likely within the next 15, 20 minutes, it will move into parts of Wayne County. But right now, any city that you see right here, Livonia, 124. Within about the next 15 to 20 minutes, Washtenaw and Wayne County will be experiencing those strong thunderstorms. Now, this area of storms not seeing the rotation in, but what we have seen are high winds and also quite a bit of hail. So I'm going to turn off the tracker right now. I just want to check in and see if we still have. I'm going to turn off the radar for just a moment here so I can check. still have that tornado warning up for parts of Oakland County. It does include the city of Troy, does include Rochester Hills. Let's turn on the radar again and see. We're going to go in a little closer on that warning box right here. Again, what I'm looking for when I'm looking at velocity and storm relative velocity is what I'm looking for indications that there is wind flowing towards the radar site and away from the radar site, indicating rotation. And I'm just not really seeing it within that box. But obviously, you know, if you're within that area, you definitely need to be taking cover. So I'm going to turn this off right now. Yeah, they're still keeping that warning box up, so let's go in here and take a closer look. Birmingham, Beverly Hills, there's Clawson, Royal Oak. Here's Big Beaver Road and Troy, right around Somerset Mall. Put on the lightning. Not seeing a lot of lightning, which is interesting. Let me widen this back out again here. There have been signs that of some weakening, but we're still watching that one area. Look at all the lightning in Macomb County right now. I'm going to turn on the tracker here, and you can see all the lightning in Macomb County. I'll turn this off here. So much of southeast lower Michigan is right now under this severe thunderstorm warning, but we have seen signs of weakening. The one area that we're really focused on right now, though, is that tornado warning up for parts of eastern Oakland County. We're going to zoom back in here. So if you're within this box, I want to go even a little bit tighter on this box here, so maybe a few more cities do pop up. Yeah, it's just on the verge of Birmingham there, Bloomfield Hills and Troy. Let's turn back on the radar. Once we get through this area of storms and the last of it down here, just now moving out of Ann Arbor and into Canton, Northville, and Novi, we should be done. So we're only talking about another hour, maybe 2 at the most, although a tornado watch remains up for the entire area until 5 a.m. They could lift that early, but as of right now, that goes until 5 a.m. I'm going to go back down here. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Washtenaw and also Wayne County. So let's track this through Wayne County. So if you're in the downriver area in Detroit, I know we focused a lot on Oakland County, but that's because they do have that active tornado warning, but you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to put a tracker on this part of the storm right here. So Romulus 120, Livonia 124. It's moving through Canton right now, which is right on track with where we said. About 6 minutes ago, we said it would be there in 6 minutes, and that's exactly where it is. Dearborn Heights at 130, Woodhaven 134. If you're in Lincoln Park, severe thunderstorm will be in your neighborhood at 136, and South Rockwood at 137. So I'm going to take off the tracker now, and we'll go back up to the northern part. Also, I haven't mentioned this, and I apologize, Port Huron, St. Clair County, also under a severe thunderstorm warning. We can track this part of the storm as well. Port Huron 129. So if you're in Port Huron, the severe thunderstorm will be in Port Huron in the next 15 minutes. Again, this is not a tornado warning, this is a severe thunderstorm warning, but we have had a history of 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Although it has started to weaken a bit, it's still a severe thunderstorm moving through parts of St. Clair and also Sanilac counties. So we've been more focused on Oakland County because of that tornado warning, but Also severe weather happening all over southeast lower Michigan, from the thumb all the way back down through Wayne County. So we're going to widen this back out again. And so we've got this area we're watching here. We also have Canton getting thunderstorms right now. We'll go in a little closer here. Take a look at, so severe thunderstorm moving through Plymouth and Canton, Salem and Northville. No signs of rotation within this, but let's check hail and see if we're seeing any. We've got our hail tracker on. We're not seeing any hail in that area, but as we go up to the north, this is what's concerning. So when we see hail like this, there's indication again that there are strong updrafts, and that's where the tornado warning box was. We have no confirmation of a tornado, but within the last 30 seconds, you can see that tornado warning has now expired. It expired at 1:15. They allowed it to expire as they're no longer seeing any threat of tornadoes. So if you are in Rochester Hills, Troy, Birmingham, Bloomfield Hills, all those areas that were just under a tornado warning, know that that has now come to an end. But there are still active severe thunderstorm warnings, not tornado warnings, but severe thunderstorm warnings into Macomb County, and we are still seeing large hail. I'm going to step off camera because I want to see if I get any reports of damage or anything that's come in that's new. And so far it doesn't look like it, but definitely some large hail within that area. I want to go back. I'm going to zoom out here. First, just briefly, we'll go over the warnings now because several have expired. Livingston, Oakland, you're in the clear. It's done. All moved off to the east, with the exception, we're still under a tornado watch until 5 a.m., but it looks like the severe weather's moved off to the east. Goes all the way from the thumb down through Port Huron, Macomb County, and into Wayne County. Does not include you folks in Monroe County. But let's check the radar right now. There are little areas we call couplets. And what we're looking for, again, when I look at this, I'm sure this looks like nothing to you, but what I'm looking for is green butted right up against red, indicating that air is flowing towards and away from the radar site at the same time, indicating some rotation. Also looking for signs of debris, indicating that there is something in the air other than rain that the radar is picking up. Likely that it's misshapen, so that would be debris, trees, houses, things like that. Anything that you would see likely picked up in debris in a tornado. That's why we look at debris fields. So I'd want to go in a little bit closer here. What am I seeing? Again, if you're just joining us, we have still multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, but the tornado warnings have now expired. We'll go back to the radar. I'm going to track this right here. Let's put a tracker. Goes from Novi down past the airport. So now it looks like Dearborn Heights at 124, Flat Rock 127, Southgate 131, Trenton, the downriver area, so it's 118. Severe thunderstorm should be to Trenton by 134 and Gibraltar at 135. So that's why Wayne County, even though if you're in the city of Detroit or downriver, it's not to you yet, but it is on its way, moving rather quickly. So within the next 20 minutes, you're going to start to hear some thunder and lightning, and the winds are going to pick up, and you will have a severe thunderstorm move through. I'm going to check the hail once again. Yeah, still seeing some. This area here is a little bit interesting in the southeast lower portion of, just to the south of Ypsilanti, we're seeing some hail there. Not seeing anything really on the velocity. All right, we'll go back out. Some very strong winds moving through Belleville right now. step out for just a moment here. If you're just joining us, the tornado warnings have expired. The entire area is under a tornado watch in effect until 5 a.m., although I suspect that will be allowed to expire early. What I'm watching right now is this area right here. We'll go in a little closer here so we can see Belleville, Rawsonville. Yeah, they're trimming back the tornado watch already, but we haven't seen any damage reports coming out of areas yet, but that will likely come here in the next hour or so as we start to get damage reports. But Plymouth and Canton getting very severe thunderstorm right now, lightning strikes. So within the last 5 minutes, there have been close to 500 lightning strikes. So a lot of lightning strikes within these cells. Anywhere you see, look at that, 890 lightning strikes. So, but the good news is we look back to the west, look at Grand Rapids, Muskegon, South Haven, already done. So once we get through this, I do want to go quickly here, and I'll come back on camera in just 1 second, but I'm going to turn off the lightning detector. It kind of clutters up the map a little bit, and we're just going to go over the warnings right now. So anywhere from the tip of the thumb all the way down through Wayne County, does not include Monroe County. These are severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. So that means severe thunderstorms are happening right now with high winds and large hail. Hail has definitely been something that has been an issue within these storms. And let's go back out to the radar. And again, if you're just joining us, we've been tracking a line of severe thunderstorms. I started tracking it across Lake Michigan right after the 6 o'clock news, and multiple tornado warnings from Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo earlier this evening. Now, as it moved to Metro Detroit, they got it when there was a little bit more heat, but we have certainly seen our fair share of severe thunderstorms, and we continue to see the severe thunderstorms. At this point, there are no signs of rotation within any of these storms, so that's a good thing. But even if you get winds 50, 60, 70 miles an hour, you're going to get damage that can even be similar to a tornado. So we're going to zoom in on a couple different places right now, including Novi, Northville, Canton, and Belleville. This extreme southwest portion of Wayne County, definitely getting some severe weather with those high winds. And I keep checking this, obviously, velocity. Just want to make sure there are no signs that we're missing of rotation and we're not seeing anything. So we'll go back to the radar and I can track some of these storms for you. So Redford, Taylor, Trenton, Gibraltar, strong, severe thunderstorms, again, headed your direction. Let's see if I can get a tracker on this one area here and update you on the timeline. Again, give or take within 5 minutes, although I have to tell you, this storm tracker has been almost dead on with exactly when the storms have arrived in these neighborhoods, almost down to the minute. So Southgate, what time is it now? 1:23. It will be in Southgate here at 1:36, Trenton 1:41, and Comerica Park downtown by 1:43. Speaking of, let's go back and check our sky cams right now, because we've had so much lightning. It'll be interesting to see. If you were watching us a few minutes ago, remember all that lightning that was going on in Ann Arbor? Now look, that storm is now off to the east. But as we look downtown, let's see if we're starting to pick up any of that lightning off in the distance. No, not seeing it yet. Within the next 15 minutes, if you stay with us, we'll check back on the Windsor sky cam, and I'm sure the sky is really going to be lit up there. We'll head over to Southfield and check Southfield's, and you can see, obviously, quite a bit of lightning in Southfield. As you look at this picture, you can see why it is so difficult. Nocturnal storms, and especially storms that produce tornadoes at night, are the most deadly because they are very, very difficult to see. So normally you would have law enforcement and trained spotters out looking for tornadoes. But in this situation at night, they're very difficult to see. Sometimes they're even wrapped in rain and you can't see them, but there's so much lightning out there right now in Southfield. Good idea too. I mean, I'm sure you have surge protectors, but I know I've done this before where you don't have the surge protector plugged in, but this is one of those nights where you're going to want to have that surge protector on. Let's check Metro Airport. I suspect there's going to be, yeah, there you go. And still planes. Look at that. Severe thunderstorm moving through. That's surprising. They might just be moving the planes into their hangars. That could be what's going on there, but there's definitely some activity. I can't imagine anything taking off. They're likely probably moving the planes in and out, but this is Metro Airport live right now with a severe thunderstorm moving through. Wow. Mount Clemens, let's check Mount Clemens, see what's going on in Mount Clemens, if we can detect any lightning there. I think that's kind of a bad shot. I'm not sure what happened with that camera, so we're going to check in on Belleville. Yeah, you can't even see anything on our Belleville camera except that is active lightning going on right now. When I had the lightning tracker on, we had in Metro Detroit 890 strikes in the last 5 minutes. So definitely a lot of lightning, a very highly charged area of thunderstorms moving through Metro Detroit. We'll go back to the airport real quick here. Yeah, severe thunderstorm moving through Romulus, also in Belleville right now. You can see that shake to the camera. We've had wind gusts that have been over 60, 70. Out to the west, there were reports of destructive severe thunderstorms, which would be winds at 80 miles per hour. I haven't seen that, but again, I've been on the air, so when we go back and look, there may have been one or two with a destructive tag on it indicating winds over 80 miles or over, but regardless, 60, 70, 80 severe thunderstorms moving through parts of Metro Detroit. Again, this is a live look right now out at Metro Airport. About 10 minutes ago, we had our Ann Arbor sky cam on and there was lightning all over the place, and now look at Ann Arbor. So as quickly as these storms are moving in, well, there's still some lightning there. These storms are going to be moving out, but we're not quite finished with the severe weather just yet. We'll check one more time back on our Windsor sky cam, and so far, if you're in downtown Detroit, you're still about, what time is it, 1:30? You're about 20 or so minutes away. So we're going to go back here. I'm going to let's turn off our cameras for a minute here. Well, I want to look one more time at Metro Airport. Yeah, it's crazy out at the airport. In fact, as we look at this, it almost looks like, I can't tell if that's rain or if some of the airport has lost power, because you could see the planes earlier, and now it looks like the airport is dark. So let's reset here for a second. So we have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, including for Wayne County. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm still going to track this line right here. We'll see. It's because it's kind of getting out of our area, but it's affecting Dearborn right now, obviously affecting the airport as we've just seen. You saw it on the sky cam. Now you see what it looks like on the radar. Highland Park 134. So within the next 5 minutes, if you're in the downriver area, downtown Detroit, what is that, 137. So about 10 or 15 minutes, give or take, that storm will be over downtown Detroit, and we'll show you that Windsor sky cam and show you that storm. I don't want to forget parts of Macomb County also getting severe thunderstorms right now, including Mount Clemens, Richmond, and also for you folks up into Port Huron with thunder, lightning, high winds, and all the things that come with a severe thunderstorm. One thing I want to see right now is, let's see if we can see power outages. So we are getting some power outages. Let's query some of these right now. 1,500 in Oakland County, 400 Livingston County, 3,500 in Livingston County. So we are seeing some power outages right now. Again, the flashing boxes, I'm going to go back and turn the power outages off so we can take a better look at what's going on right now as far as severe thunderstorm warnings that are still in effect for many areas of Metro Detroit. We're going to turn the radar back on again so that we can, let's do some street level mapping here. because we're kind of to the point where we're not really going to be tracking this line anymore, as we know it's going to move through Detroit and the downriver area within the next 5 or 10 minutes. So let's go in a little bit closer and show you some of the worst part of the storm. Dearborn really getting a strong thunderstorm right now. There's Taylor. This is why the airport had that sky cam shot. If you see even the purple areas, let's look at the hail and see if there's any hail. Click off that severe thunderstorm warning for Wayne County. By the way, that severe thunderstorm warning for Wayne County goes until 2 a.m. So if you're in Wayne County, just know it goes until 2 a.m. So look at the hail. This indicates hail. We have seen hail, and I need to check some reports because I've been on camera the whole time, but anywhere between an inch to even an inch and a half, so about the size of a quarter or larger. So lots of hail all over Metro Detroit, indicating that these are really strong thunderstorms with strong updrafts. We'll go back to the radar right now and continue to track these storms. So we said 134 for Southgate and Riverview, and that's going to be about where we are in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Dearborn is really getting a strong thunderstorm right now. Also, Hamtramck's will pop up to the Grosse Pointes. And let's do this tracker here. So in the Grosse Pointes, about 25 minutes before Grosse Pointe gets in on the severe weather. So I would say just before 2 o'clock, maybe we'll give it about 20-25 minutes before the severe thunderstorm reaches the Grosse Pointes and also Harper Woods. So we'll go back out, expand the view. A couple areas we're watching. Again, this was one linear squall line that we were tracking, and now it's broken up here, but it is still producing strong to severe thunderstorms, especially right now moving through Wayne County. If you're on the backside of it, Howell, Ann Arbor, things are pretty much quieted down there. We're still technically under a tornado watch, although they are starting to trim that watch back a little bit. So we've got active warnings that are in effect. We're going to go back to, let's check in on our Skycam now from downtown Detroit, as that thunderstorm is now getting a little bit closer, but we're still not seeing anything move into the downtown area. We'll check this in about 5 or 6 minutes, as again oh, there you go, some lightning. So if you're in downtown Detroit, our studios are here in downtown Detroit, likely getting this thunderstorm within the next 10 minutes or so. In fact, we're starting to hear some thunder outside of our studios. We'll go back out to Metro Airport, check the Skycam there. So it looks like, I think they did temporarily lose power and probably came back on the generators, because when we looked at this earlier, if you noticed, these lights were completely off. I'm not sure if they were blocked, whether they had, you know, some rain coming through that we couldn't see, but it looked like the airport briefly lost power in the terminal. Obviously, they have all the backup generators, but we are seeing movement on the ground. I think they were taking some of the aircraft and putting them away, but they are still getting that severe thunderstorm out at the airport, so lots of activity there. Wow, yeah, the airport is really getting hit hard right now, which again is probably why we saw some of that movement with the aircraft. Obviously, there would be a ground stoppage, but they're moving some of those aircraft around. Downtown, once again, we'll check in. Not really seeing any, a little bit of lightning in the background, but these storms are yet to hit the downtown area. So we'll check one more. Let's check Southfield. So Southfield has seen some improvement then. We had that severe thunderstorm moving through Southfield. We still have a little bit of lightning left over, but otherwise we're going to go back, click off the Skycams, and we'll go to parts of Macomb County and into St. Clair County, where they're still getting a severe thunderstorm right now in Marysville, also up into Port Huron. So I don't want to forget about the northern part of our viewing area, as we do still have those strong to severe thunderstorms there, and still the severe thunderstorms moving through parts of Wayne County. So just to recap quickly here, the remaining warnings that we have in effect are for basically Wayne County and up into parts of the Thumb. Because we don't have any active tornado warnings, we're going to jump back off to our regular programming. We will stay with you though throughout the evening tracking these storms.